Good morning and welcome to Rare Classics. I'm John Daga and I'm here with my co-host Johnny. And you've probably seen us doing some fun videos for Bring a Trailer for cars that we've helped our clients sell. But today we're going to be a little more serious. We're going to talk about our day jobs. So during the day, Johnny and I work at Rare Classics, which is a restoration firm located in Boca Raton, Florida. And in addition to restoring post-war Italian sports cars, we manage 4 private collections. And I'm going to stress the word private. So today we're going to talk about a very special car. This is a car that Rare Classics restored in 2019 for the Pebble Beach Concours of Elegance. This is a 1956 Chrysler Boano. Now, what's a Chrysler Boano? Well, this is a one-off personal luxury car. In 1956, a gentleman in Italy who was an industrialist, his name was Gianni Agnelli, he went to Mario Boano. Now, Mario Boano was the former head of Ghia. Now, Ghia worked very closely with Chrysler through many projects, mostly show cars, and they also built the bodies for all the turbine cars. Now, he told Mr. Boano that he wanted basically a personal luxury car along the lines of a Bentley, a powerful coupe. So they did some drawings and Mr. Agnelli chose one. They made a model of it and they ordered a 1956 Chrysler 300B, which at the time the Chrysler 300B was the world's fastest production car. Has a 345 cubic inch dual quad Hemi. We'll show you that in a little bit. And so when this car arrived in Italy, we believe it arrived in export form as a partially completed car. I do have a data plate for it from Chrysler, which is an old punch card, and the Chrysler 300 Club was good enough to decode it for us. And on that, there's a couple anomalies on the card that they couldn't quite figure out, and we assume that that's because it was an export car. Some things about this car is they shortened it 7 inches and made it a 2-seater instead of a 4-seater as a regular Chrysler would be. And the Chrysler Boano features a number of the Chrysler innovations of the time, such as the power antenna, which is still controlled by the original switch, yet in a bezel made by the Italians. Another very unique feature is the power sunroof. Now, when we restored the car, we discovered that it was made out of the components from the original Chrysler Power seat and controlled with the same switches. Now, this car features a manual seat, and what's unique is that the seat tracks actually said Fiat on them. So it's a little noisy, but it works perfectly. So can you imagine in 1956 having a power sunroof in your car?
No. I can barely imagine having one in my freaking car now.
So some of you may be asking, who was Gianni Agnelli? Well, Gianni Agnelli was also known as Le Advocate. He was an Italian industrialist. He was the grandson of the founder of Fiat. He later ascended to the position of chairman of Fiat. Now, when he asked to have this car constructed, he was not in that position. And in the brief amount of time it took to construct the car, he was getting ready to assume the post of chairman of Fiat. And even though he loved the car, he didn't feel it was appropriate to be seen driving a foreign car. So he gave the car to his brother Umberto, who was involved with Fiat of France. Little side note, Umberto was married to the daughter of Pianghi, who is the Vespa motor scooter company. So what a giant conglomerate that could have been. They later divorced. The car was driven to the Milan Turin toll booth by Gianpaolo Boano, Mario Boano's son. And we do have a letter from Gianpaolo stating all this is fact. Another couple of interesting things about Gianni Agnelli, in addition to being the chairman of Fiat, he was also chairman of the local or the national soccer team for Italy. I can't pronounce it. It's Juventus Soccer Club. He was married to Marielle, and Marielle was a noblewoman, although she was half American. And in addition to his positions with the football club and at Fiat, Agnelli was also known as a very sharp dresser. And one of his trademarks was he wore his watch on the outside of his shirt sleeve. Now, we wouldn't do that in Florida because we don't wear shirt sleeves. So Agnelli also had a penchant for the ladies, and he was known as a playboy, even though he never divorced from his wife, and they were together until his death. So let's talk about the car some more. This is a custom one-off bodied 1956 Chrysler 300B, bodied by Boano in Italy, bequest of Gianni Agnelli. You can see some things about the car. Got some very striking lines. It's got a lot of detail. You know, the fender hips. It does feature, in addition to the bench seat in the front, got a little jump seat in the rear. And this easily folds down for luggage carrying or so, and as I told you all, we had restored this car and debuted it at the 2019 Pebble Beach Concours d'Elegance. It went on to win a second in class there in a highly contested battle. It later went on to win several best of classes and best of shows, even at events like the Villa d'Este in Italy. So we're getting ready to say goodbye to this car. It's going to it's going back to Pebble Beach for the Monterey Car Week. It's going to be auctioned by RM Sotheby's, and I will. In the description, I'll let you know what it sells for, because the auction's less than a week away and the truck's getting ready to come pick it up. So what do you say we go for one last ride, Johnny?
All right.
You ready?
Yep.
We rolling?
Yep.
Okay. Got a nice, powerful American sound. Another thing that was interesting is, you know, the Chrysler would have originally had a floor-mounted dimmer switch, but they installed this, which we found the switch in some Ferraris too, and it's a combination dip beam kind of flash to pass thing here on the column instead of being mounted on the floor. So, torque flight push button transmission. I'll take the brake off. You definitely see cruising around Italy in this thing.
I was gonna say, just everything about this car is smooth and slick.
Yeah. Guess the old expression, rides like a Cadillac, but rides like a big old Chrysler. With a shorter wheelbase, it's a little more nimble, and this particular car is very well sorted. It does everything correctly. All the functions and features work on it. It's really a joy to drive. Yeah, I think the only thing that make it really good for South Florida driving would be maybe the addition of some air conditioning. Yeah. And has a very unique power brake system on it, where it's actually got a separate servo, and it has an odd feel to it. Some people feel like the brakes don't work, even though they function quite well. There's actually a switch on the brake pedal that triggers the vacuum to the assist, and it's quite the joy to get adjusted. Oh, Toyota, what are you doing? I'm making a U-turn.
She seemed very happy.
Yeah. She's going to work. She probably doesn't have cool jobs like we do. I wonder if that's not our truck. One finger the power steering.
Nice.
And that'll be it for today, as we say goodbye to our 1956 Chrysler Boano.
So if you enjoyed the video of our 1956 Chrysler 300B Boano Coupe Speciale, then give it a like. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then please do so. Then you'll know when we come out with more videos of special automobiles. We'll see you on the next one.